Welcome to the Good, the Bad, and the Music podcast. I am your host, T. Davis, and I'm excited to be joined by my good friend, multi-instrumentalist and singer-songwriter slash dope-ass bassist in our band, Jacob Emran. Thanks
What's
for
up?
being on the pod,
What's
dude. I
up, T? How
appreciate
you
you.
doing, bro?
I'm good, man.
Yeah.
I'm bummed that it's taken like this long to do this. You know
Dude,
how
yeah.
scheduling and stuff goes in this town.
I feel like
But
we've both been busy, man, or you just get busier. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like sometimes it's just like for a second, it's like, oh, I'm not doing anything for like 3, 4 days, and all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, now I'm doing something every day, and you're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I looked at my
Yeah.
schedule for 2 weeks from now, and it's good for, like, the bank account, but for my mental and physical health, I think it's gonna be pretty insane.
Dude, yeah, man. It's just like, cause it's like when you don't have like one whole day to just kind of like do something, or you know what I mean, like just to like, I don't know, just even like recuperate or like restart.
Mhm.
I just feel like it's just an endless, you know, you're always like, something's fucking,
Yeah,
it just
and
doesn't, I don't know, man.
you've
Starts
been
to,
doing, like 1, you've been traveling out of town,
dude, yeah,
and you've
shit's
been doing,
wild.
like, doubles.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, dude, honestly, dude, it's good for them. It's with the money, dude. It's like, fuck yeah. But then, yeah, it's just like, you don't ever have a time to like, you want to enjoy it, because it's like, dude, I'm playing fucking music and making money. But then sometimes it's like towards the end of that double, you're just like, dude, I'm just trying to get through. I'm just like hoping for like the clock, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's like, damn, that kind of sucks because it's like, that's not why you get into music. You
Yeah.
don't get into it because you're just like, I can't wait for it to be done,
Mhm.
you know? That's the good and the bad
Yeah,
in the
it
music, dude.
it is the balance of when you start doing it for your living, it not start to feel like work all the time.
Yeah,
Um, but I think that's why you gotta balance it out with, like, projects that are 100% for yourself, you know?
exactly, dude.
So yeah, dude, like, I guess what I've been doing for everyone who comes on is sort of I wanna get your background
Yeah.
info, like, as much as you, like, feel like sharing. And honestly, dude, I don't feel like I've ever sat down with you and, like, really talked about, like, how you got into music or, like,
True,
you
yeah.
know,
I don't think we
so
ever had that talk. Yeah, man. It's always just been,
no.
what's up, man?
It's always been like, "Hey."
What happened yesterday, dude?
Yeah, yeah,
Not like
uh-huh,
what happened 10 years ago,
mhm. So,
20
we've
years
known
ago.
each other since what, like, 2015 or
Ah,
16, somewhere in there?
man. Dude, yeah, like it had to have been because I remember I met you through Brian,
Mhm,
and he you came over to the house one day. He was like, dude, you gotta meet, the homie's dope. Um, you had a little hat and you had glasses then,
mhm.
dude. And you didn't have a beard. I remember. Well, you had kind of
It was
like
like a
it
really
was kind of growing out type
yeah,
shit, dude. Yeah,
mhm,
it was crazy, man. But nah, dude. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really. I don't think I knew you that well at that
mhm.
time. Uh, but then yeah, I think it was whenever you actually moved here, then we still really got to like
Yeah.
talking and hanging more, dude. Pretty
Um,
cool. That's
so
crazy, man.
I met you were doing some shows with Victor and Max and Pedro,
Yeah.
and so, like, how long have you known those guys, or, like,
Oh, dude.
how did you get into that, like, vibe? You know what I'm saying? Because I
Oh,
think you were
dude.
playing, like, keys with them.
Yeah, dude. So that was crazy. So we all went to the same community college, JCC, which is Johnson Community College. And I was doing this thing where there was a program you could take in your senior year of high school. Or I mean, I guess you could take it with like junior, senior year. It was called like middle college, where you would pretty much take college classes during your senior year, but you would take it at like a community college. And then I just remember, dude, I'm gonna sign up for like a ton of music classes. So then there was one of them which is called music ensemble. I was like, all right, hell yeah. Um, and then that's where I first met them. Max was on drums. Victor was on guitar. Pedro I didn't meet until later because he was I just met him through like he would come through or hang out because Victor was there. But yeah, when I met them, I remember I walked in and I was like, he was like, okay, what instrument are you like going for? And I was like, guitar, because that's like what I did. So I was like, oh yeah. But there was already like three guitar players, or there was two acoustic players, one electric player. So he was like, yeah,
And one of them was
right.
Victor.
One of them was Victor.
So
It was kind of just like, can't really. But I remember he was, yeah. So I just said like, well, I guess I'll just do keys, and I hadn't really ever like played keys at that point, but I was like, maybe I can fake it enough to like, you know. And then in faking it, I started like actually trying to learn like more, so I didn't like look like an idiot. You know
mhm.
what I mean? So we'd have to learn these songs. I remember we had to do like Cantaloupe Island. We did like Mr. PC, like John Coltrane, that tune. But it was cool. It was honestly nice, like kind of picking an instrument that like I never really dove into at first, but then having to be kind of forced to like, go for it and like actually like learn it better. It was just funny because yeah, when I met them, they're like, dude, I always thought you were a keys player. I was like, dude, when I joined this shit, I had no idea what I
Mhm.
was fucking doing.
So
Dude, yeah. So
so if you started on guitar, like, and I know that your sister Rose also
yeah,
plays. She plays primarily bass in her band, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like, have y'all always been like a musical family? And like, how did you both get kind of going with that? Is that something that you have done together since you were younger, or
Um,
how'd you get into it?
Interestingly, like we kind of just both got into it. I feel like in separate ways. Like I think so yeah, like me, Rose, and then I have an older sister, Mary. Like we all like kind of loved music. Mary never like played anything like that. She was more into like drawing, and then she got more into. She was always a big reader, like a reader. Like she
Mhm.
loved reading books, so she got more. She became like a media lawyer and that kind of area. But she still loves art and does stuff like that. But me and Rose were more into music at the time, and we both had like different things we liked, but we were still like I guess still like passionate about music and wanting to do it, But I don't think we did at some points though. Like I remember back in North Carolina, she had a band. It was called the Mother Notes, and then
Yeah,
I
I
was
remember that.
yeah, right.
Mhm.
So I was playing drums for that band for a little bit, like when it started, because I remember there was another person, Emily. She was on bass, and then Emily moved to drums, and then I was on bass. No, I was on keys, and I still didn't really know. Like, I just knew like this was a yeah. Um, but I remember because yeah, it was Emily, and then her boyfriend got on guitar. But anyways, so we still kind of did some music things together later on. But I guess when we started out, it was more like separate. Like we both kind of liked. Still, it was like the same stuff, but like different at the same time. Does that kind of make
Well,
sense?
y'all are just going about it kind of individually,
Yeah, yeah. It
but
wasn't
you
like we were like each like like in a room like playing guitar together or some
yeah.
shit. It was more just like we were both interested in it and
But
like
you do share some of your like music
oh
tastes.
yeah, like we
So
still
it's like
like the same
so
stuff.
y'all
Yeah.
are both getting into it just chilling in your own rooms like, "Hey, I learned like this song
Yeah,
today," or
right,
whatever.
pretty
Yeah,
much,
yeah.
right? But we
Mhm.
still like the same stuff like when we were growing up because I remember first getting into it. It was really through like my dad's cassette tapes because he had like all these like like this kind of suitcase of like really old like it was just like Hendrix, Zeppelin, it was like Fleetwood Mac stuff. Um a lot of random stuff too. There's like Alan Parsons Project. That dude's sick. But anyways, just like random stuff that I had like never heard of before at the time. And I was like, dude, this is so cool. I want to like do that. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
just hearing that, I was like, dude, how are they doing that? Like, how are they making this like sound? You know?
Yeah.
And it's almost like this powerful, like, I don't know. I just remember being as a kid, I was like, dude, this shit is just like insane. Like I never heard anything, like it. And I thought I was like, dude, I just want to do that.
So how old were you when you first started, like, trying to play instruments like the guitar?
Well, I mean, I was probably like I'm at my first like actual guitar when I was like 7 or 8. Because when I was 7, I had this like little Sesame Street guitar, like the one that you press the buttons and it'd be like digga da gunk, digga da gink, you know. And I was like, okay, you can get a real. Because I would always fuck with that shit so much. They're like, all right, let's get a real one. I was like, all right, so we got like a tiny little shitty acoustic, and I remember being like, oh yeah, I remember the first thing I learned on that was like Paint It Black, like doom doom doom. I was like, Mom, check this out, boom doom doom doom. You know, thinking it was like so cool. And then I remember, so I was about 9 or 10, and I used to work at my dad's. He had like a thrift shop. But it was really weird. It was called PC House Cyber Thrift, which is a really weird name. Like it's a long. Everyone thought it was like a pancake house because it'd be like PC, and they're like, this is a very But anyways, it was weird because he used to just get all of these like these kind of boxes of random shit and like call them antiques, and then he would just kind of make them really overpriced, and then no one would really buy anything because you don't want to buy like a $50 like bobblehead. It wasn't even $50 to begin with. So it was a very
Okay.
bad business idea. But he would have that and then also fix computers like in this other corner. He was
Okay.
a really big computer guy. Like that was his whole thing. So it's a very interesting business model.
And was that in
Old
like the
but new.
Clayton area?
It was in Lillington.
Lillington. Okay.
Yeah.
So is that where you're originally from?
No. I'm from, I guess I kind of grew up in Angier. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's like a
Mm-hmm.
kind of a small town. And like I used to go to Benson a lot because the elementary middle school I went to was Benson Elementary and Benson Middle. So I used to go in that area. And that place is crazy because they used to always have mule days.
Mm-hmm.
Remember mule days, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mule days.
Wild, dude. It's just crazy. I feel like everyone I talk to about like mule days, no one even really knows what a mule is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still kind of, it's like a donkey
Something
and a
with a
horse,
horse and a
right?
donkey.
Right? Isn't that the whole
I
thing?
think it's
But it's such a
supposed to be
crazy thing.
both.
Yeah. But it's like what a crazy thing to celebrate. But no, wait, what were we
Animals that cannot reproduce.
I know, right? I
Yeah.
mean, dude, it's great. Um, but oh yeah, no. So yeah, Angier, and so no, yeah,
So how did
that's
you
where I
end up
grew
in
up.
the Clayton area?
Clayton, yeah. So we moved from Angier to Clayton. It was pretty much after my mom like left my dad, like they like split up. We were trying to get to a new spot, so we went to Clayton. Um, and this was around after this was probably my freshman year of high school because I went to Benson Elementary, Benson Middle, like all through like first and eighth grade. But then my first year, freshman year, was when I moved, like during that summer. So
Mm-hmm.
then that's when I met. That's when I went to it was Cleveland High School.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, so it was around that area for pretty much all my high school like years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, dude, it's nice in North Carolina, man. It's just hard to make it out in music. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, you
I
can
mean,
make
you
a
did it
living.
well. You did it well, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
decently. I mean, I couldn't. I was just playing like places like the Corner Pocket. You remember that spot?
Yeah.
And it was like,
Well, I feel like you could have done exactly the kind of
yeah,
vibe that I was
wait.
doing. There's a surprising ability to make a living as like a solo acoustic musician in North
Yeah, I mean,
Carolina.
I know you know that for sure.
But it does take a lot of groundwork. And you know, when I got done with grad school, I got home and I was like, oh shit, I'm either gonna keep working at Redfish, because that's where I met Brian.
That's right. That's what I remember the music store. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was gonna be doing that. Or that company also had a pawn shop that I worked in from time to time.
Okay.
And that was kind of a bummer.
Hmm.
So I was like, I was living at my dad's and I was like, I can do that. Or I can cold call / email like every restaurant, brewery, bar that looks like they might have live music and try to book myself.
Nice.
And I did that for like 2 months.
Damn.
And I ended up getting a couple of steady gigs that were like every week.
Hell yeah, man.
And that was like, oh, well, then now I just need to get 1 or 2 more at places that aren't going to have me every week.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you just kind of build from, and it's the same shit that you have to do out here.
Oh yeah, man.
It's just you get paid less out here because there's so many of us who are willing to do it.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, I don't know, man. It can go either way. I've had
Yeah.
some really great gigs out here where like the tips were awesome,
Hmm.
and so you're like,
Dude,
yeah.
yeah, it's wild
But
sometimes.
sometimes it's just
Oh, dude, it's just about getting lucky, man. Sometimes with these, like with the tips, man. Because like, just the other week, I think it was when we were in Arkansas with this other group that I play with for the out of town the Tin Roof gig, and this guy comes up and um, he's just like, "Hey, man, can you play a song for my friend that passed?" And we were like, "Oh yeah, dude, like, absolutely. Like, what song? What you got?" He's like, "It's a Red Solo Cup. It's for my friend Toby." And we were like, "Huh, okay." So then he puts $100 in, and we're like, "Oh yeah, sure, dude. Whatever you want." Um, and then we realized, like, okay, his friend Toby is nobody really passed. It was just like, people always are like, "Oh my,"
yeah,
like it'd be like, for my friend that passed, Ozzy,
right, yeah.
because at first we were all like, "Oh shit," like it's actual. But what I'm trying to
Or
get
it
with,
was Toby Keith's friend, which is
yeah,
probably not true.
I don't know. I mean, he had enough
But
money to where he could have been. He just kept putting in hundreds for like some of the dumbest songs. I mean, it was like, well, not. I mean, classic stuff like "Pour
I,
Some Sugar on Me."
yeah,
He
yeah, yeah.
wanted like, I mean, we got pretty much over the course of those 2 days, it was $800 from this one guy, and I was like, this is insane. Some people just like he just kept putting 100 for one song.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, dude. So I don't know, man.
That
It's just
happened to us with that one lady at Nudies in like February.
yeah,
That was a welcome sight.
yeah. See, it's
It
just
is weird.
sometimes you get those random pockets of luck where
Hmm.
just you're like, holy shit. But I don't know, man. Yeah, like I feel like I guess because I know you said we make less money out here compared to like if you
I
were
mean,
doing
the
it out in
base
North
pay.
Carolina. Yeah,
The
right.
base pay
For
typically.
sure. I always say like I feel like in turn though you do get the location. Like you get to be in the place where it's like you get to meet so many people that are also doing it. Like I don't know. I
Hmm.
feel like in North Carolina it was just hard to meet other people also that were kind of like doing. I mean, like obviously there's certain sections like you got Asheville and like you got. I'm just talking about where I was at, like with Clayton and Raleigh
Hmm.
stuff. It was just more like not as prominent as like as it was. Like I feel like in Asheville or like other places where there's actual kind of like scenes of people doing it. You know,
Yeah, like
but
I've
I
wanted
don't
to
know.
do a podcast or something for years,
Yeah,
but it's like, I mean, I could have found guests to be on,
yeah,
but I don't know. I don't know how like many episodes I would have had in the bank, you know?
yeah. And again, I mean, this was like probably like what 2015, 2016. So I don't know. It might have changed a lot now. I just remember back then it was like the big music guy was like Scotty McCreery, and it's like it's like you got to do like fucking I don't know. It was. I just remember not really anyone I would talk to. I remember just being like talked about music. They would just be like, "Oh, okay, that's like a cool hobby, but like, what do you like? What do you do? What
Hmm.
do you want to do?" And it's like, well, that's what I
Yeah.
want to do, And that's why it's like visiting Nashville was just like so like I don't know, refreshing, man. Just to be around like so many other people that are just also passionate about it, and it's not like weird
Hmm.
that you're like doing music.
So
It's like
when exactly did you move out here?
April 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Sweet.
pretty much like it was like I was either gonna stay in North Carolina and like try to go like probably like App State or something like like go through that route or just like come out here. And it was crazy because like I remember Max and Victor hit me up and they're like, "Hey man, we got an open spot coming up, and like if you want to come out here, like just let us know, like the room just opened up." And I was like, it's like, do I go for a degree? It's like for 4 years and then go to Nashville, or it's just like just go to Nashville, dude. It's like why even wait? Because you know what I mean. I feel like that's 4 years of missing out on connections. People, I would have never met anybody that I know now if I had waited longer.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just like when you get those like opportunities right there, you just gotta like take them, dude. You just gotta just fucking go for it,
Yeah.
you know? Because it's like, how long can you wait? You only get, I don't know, you only get so much time, dude. Do all this shit, you
And
know?
I've talked to other people about this. I wish I'd have just moved out here when I was like 21. But
Yeah.
that's just not how life worked out. You know,
Oh yeah, I didn't mean to, I wasn't saying
no,
all
no,
that
no,
to
no.
be like, oh, by the way.
Oh, no. But what I was gonna say is like, I'm glad that you did, because I feel like so many people get like scared into doing a safe thing, when in reality, like, dude, when you're 20, like, your brain's not even done cooking. And like, why not go chase your passion for all of your 20s?
Yeah.
And if you find yourself at 30 and you're like, well, I can't really eat, then go to college. Because then you're like, you've had some experience in life, you know, you've gone through some things as an adult.
Yeah.
And I think you're more positioned to take your education seriously and have a better idea of what you'd be good at, versus, oh, you're 18 and you just graduated high school. Well, let's go ahead and pick what you're going to do forever right now.
Yeah, that's true.
That, I mean, that was kind of because I'm a little bit,
Man.
I'm older than you guys. How old are
Yeah.
you now?
28.
Yeah. So I think you're just in that generation where it's like people started getting more comfortable telling their kids, like, okay, I mean, if you don't want to go to school, like, go do your thing.
Yeah.
My folks were like, yeah, you have to go to college or you'll be like a loser or something. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Just a weird thing. It was a weird time.
Dude,
this is a weird time to be alive, because
I
there's so
know.
many different experiences within like just the 10-year, age difference.
Yeah, man. No, it's wild, dude. I mean, I just feel like, I don't know, I still wouldn't even go to college again, like if it was like 30, or just like if it wasn't working. It's like, dude, fuck that. I would just try to make that shit work. Let's try to like, because it's just like,
Buy a
I feel
van.
like for that, right? Or even for, just feel like for music, man, it's just all about like literally just going out there and, fucking doing it, meeting people, making those connections, and just getting better. That's all. I don't think like going to school and like having like a piece of paper that's like, all right, I proved something, like
Yeah.
what's that gonna like? I'm not gonna see your degree and be like, dude, that's a great song because you went to fucking Belmont.
Dude,
You know what I'm saying?
I see so many people in these like Facebook groups that are like trying to network and stuff, and their first post is like, I just got my bachelor's degree in audio engineering from Belmont,
Yeah.
and I do all genres, and I can mix and master your project. And I'm like, dude, I see dozens of those
Yeah.
every week. And I'm like, bro,
It's like,
what?
dude.
You're not gonna.
It's like, you want to know the ones that like make it, those audio engineers, the ones that like actually meet people or meet artists that are like making something good, make that connection, and then they're just on that record. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of these people that do the cold call stuff, like, yeah, you might get some stuff, you never know what you'll get. But it's like, yeah, you're just one in a million.
Yeah.
It'd be like me going out there and being like, it'd be like me hitting up a venue and being like, hey, I just graduated from Belmont. I got my fucking degree in recording and production. So I have to have good songs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So book me.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work like that, dude.
Yeah. And I mean,
it's just, I don't know, man. I just think school's great if you want to be like a fucking surgeon, doctor. Yeah, please go to school. I need someone who's good at like fucking digging inside of people and knowing what the hell they're doing there.
Yeah.
Please get a degree in that. I don't want you to prove, but like, I feel like with music and then like anything creative, art, painting, anything like that, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
a degree is almost pointless
unless
you're being a teacher.
Yeah. And that was why I went to grad school, because I was like, well, at least if I have a master's degree, I could teach at the college level, knowing full well what I really wanted to do was pursue music.
Yeah.
But I was just trying to be like safe, which even that fucking stupid, bro. Because that's not even safe either. Because like, they're not exactly like throwing people teaching jobs at colleges either.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, man. But I mean, I'm not like shitting on like going to school either, because like that's the classic. Like, I mean, I felt bad about it for a while that I, didn't actually like fully, because I only got my associates, but I didn't like, and that was just from the doing the middle college shit. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It wasn't even like I didn't go to like any further college like after that. Um, but like,
But you're out
yeah,
here doing the thing, man.
no,
So
yeah,
like,
I don't feel bad about it anymore. I think
so
it was just because, like, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was
no,
just
you're
saying
good.
because, like, I just remember, like, my mom would always be like, before, like, oh, so when are you going back to school? Like, when are you, like, And now it's been great, man, because, like, she doesn't tell me that anymore. She's just like, how's music been doing? Like, she's more, like, cool about it and more, like, it's kind of great that it's not like, I don't know how you say it. Like, it's, she cared not that she didn't care before, but it was more she kind of sees it like, oh, it's actually doing well now, like you're
Hmm.
actually making a living through this, so it's like, you know I don't get the school questions anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. She's seen like the proof.
yeah,
Yeah.
right, which is, I mean, it took a while, dude. I mean, it just happened like recently, dude. It was literally like I came out here, I mean, it's been like what, 2.5, 3 years, and I finally got to the point where I can like do music like full time.
Hmm.
It's pretty insane because, like, I mean, before that I was just looking for jobs. I was looking for any fucking job, dude. Dude, I've done the most random jobs before. I thought like, okay, I could get like, because I used to work in like the restaurant industry, right? Like I was a server. That was my first ever job, and I worked at Bob Evans, and I was like, yeah, that place pretty much. It's just like it's like a different version of Cracker Barrel, pretty
Oh yeah,
much.
yeah.
You know Bob Evans. Okay, so a lot of people don't. That's why I'm
Well,
always
it's a
like,
big thing. Bree's parents love Bob Evans.
really?
Like, I don't know if it's like a big thing in Pittsburgh or something,
I
but
mean,
they
it's
are
not
like
that.
all about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. I always tell people about. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you mean like the mashed potatoes?" Like, 'cause they always have those thing in
Like
the
when they
store.
visit in a couple weeks, like I'm definitely
They're
gonna have to
trying to
go to
hit
the
some
Bob
Bob
Evans. That's
Evans.
like right here in
That's
Music
funny.
Valley. That's definitely gonna happen. I can picture it
Damn,
right
I
now.
forgot that there's even one here, dude.
Uh-huh.
But no, but anyways, it's like I did a lot of like restaurant jobs for a while, and like I thought like, okay, well, I could like find something like, let me see if I can just be like a busser or something. Like, let me see like any job. I still could not land anything, like not even like a job of just like putting plates away. I was like, bro, come on. Like that's like, I feel like that.
You talking about out here when you got out
Yeah,
here?
well, I mean, even like recently, like a couple months ago,
Hmm.
and like, I don't know, man. It's just crazy because like, I mean, I don't know, dude. I've
Well, that's good. I mean, that's a good thing to talk about because of
Yeah,
the subject of the pod. So like, what? So you got out here like what you said 2.5 years ago,
yeah,
right?
man.
So I mean, how the hell have you subsisted? You know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean,
what? Tell me, like, when you get out here, what's like step one? Did you like jump into this nudies gig
oh
or
no, dude.
no?
Nah, man. I mean, it was just like I came out here, I was working at this restaurant Carrabba's in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So then I just transferred to the one here
Mm-hmm.
and was doing that for a while, like for to make rent and shit. Um, and then I was like still kind of getting my feet wet, and then like during like that summer, I was just like kind of bummed. I was like, dude, I need to get like some kind of music gig or something. So I went on Craigslist, um, and I found one gig through Craigslist. It was looking for a guitar player, and it was like for this jazz like singer-songwriter person. And I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. Like, so I did that for a little bit. I was playing like little tiny places like Sambuca and
Mm-hmm.
like this other place. It's like Old Smoky Brewery. It's pretty cool. Sixth and Peabody, like that
Yeah, yeah,
area.
yeah.
Um, which was fun. It was a good like decent gig, but it wasn't like paying the bills or anything like that. And I just didn't really enjoy it too much. So like after that, we pretty much got the nudies gig through just like it used to be. I guess we kind of got grandfathered in. It was really weird. Like it used to be like the hippies and cowboys gig, and then because of the conflict with like nudies and Kid Rocks, like that whole Tootsies like thing where I guess they have like that little contract where if you're playing like the Tootsie circuit, like a front man can't like also play like a rival circuit type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't know, because apparently like, yeah, they had to like choose like between them, and then it was like, yeah, of course they kept the you would keep the Kid Rock's main stage gig. I mean, that's paying more. So then we sort of overtook that for a while, and then you know that was with me, Leo, Max, and Victor for a little bit. So it's pretty much Calico Mantra, like
Mm-hmm.
doing that for a while. Um, and then Victor was getting busy with Hippies and Cowboys, so was Leo a little bit, and then like it's kind of changed variations to now where it's like, yeah, it's pretty much with you, man. You came through, and now we're Groovy Lettuce and the Biscuit family,
And
man.
I sincerely appreciate that, man. Because
Dude.
like you said, like when you first get to town, for most people, it's like damn near impossible to get a decent shift on Broadway.
Oh,
Like
dude, yeah,
most people start off doing like the
yeah. This
shittier like acoustic rooftop morning things, and I guess somehow working their way up into what we're kind of doing.
Which I don't even know how, like with that circuit, the nudie circuit, man, it's just so like I feel like it's not easy as like the Kid Rocks or Tootsies like circuit, you know what I mean? Because it's just like a lot of those people, it's just like I feel like you get the spot like after they like die or some shit, you know? It's like
Yeah.
once it's like no one's given up that spot.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen it like change, really. I mean, sometimes they switched it up with like some new bands, but then still it was just like I don't know. I guess because they have like the new bar, like Show Pony, it kind of that opened up. I mean, you still have the same people from Johnny Cash Bar and Barbecue, but then it looks like because of the hours, how they're doing it, you get a couple more new bands, which is nice. Because
Mm-hmm.
I always felt like for a while it was just the same. Like I always felt like it was one of those circuits. I'm like, dude, I don't know how. I mean, we got so lucky even getting into that. Like at least there's no audition. I feel like for newbies, it's just like I don't really know how.
Right.
You know what
I
I'm
don't know.
saying? Because at least with the Kid Rock one, it makes sense. Like, okay, you go there in the morning, Monday meeting, and then you just, yeah, you audition, and it's like if they like you, they like you. You get on a morning shift, and then build your way up 2 to 6, 6 to 10. Um, which would be nice if all bars were kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would be like something that's like, why not make it easier for people to like, what if you see like, instead of just going off a whim,
Make
why
it
not?
like a meritocracy thing
Yeah.
where it's like, do we think you could actually entertain these people?
Exactly, because a lot of
Yeah.
people have videos, or a lot of people can like fake like clout. Like they'll just be like, "Oh, I have like 50,000 followers, so like," and then like so book me. But then you're like, "Oh wait, this guy actually like bought those 50,000 followers." You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
stuff like that where it's just like, why don't you just see them perform, see how they perform,
Mm-hmm.
and then see if they like can like be a good fit for the bar. You know,
Yeah.
that's what.
So you went from doing the like accompanying the like jazzy singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
What was your next music gig after that?
After that was the nudies one because that
Okay,
came
so that
that
came
came
through.
2023
Mm-hmm.
in early like January-ish, February, because I just remember Leo saying like, "Oh yeah, we got the nudies gig now."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So then that became like my main thing for a long time. And you know, trying to think after Broadway wise, like yeah, we had that. And then you go into Facebook groups and things like that and you try to pick up random gigs. I was doing that for a while, trying to get little quick side hustle gigs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like which that's good, but it's not consistent. So
So what are some of the things that you have been able to like pick up like
oh
through doing that, just like through your networking things? Because that's what I'm hoping people will kind of, I guess, get out of listening to this is
yeah.
like, because you've done the thing the old fashioned way of like, I fucking moved here and got a job waiting tables, moved in with some roommates that were homies,
Yeah.
and just took whatever gig I could get
I
and
mean,
worked my way up to having a steady gig. So
oh
like,
dude.
so what kind of other stuff were you doing to supplement the nudies gig after it came through?
Oh, I mean, I was still, let me see, like I worked at trying to think. I worked at Barista Parlor, which was like a coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
I had to work there. I worked there pretty much for most of 2023. Um, and after that, but yeah, just doing like that was that. I mean, that was that side hustle. Then I worked at the Johnny Cash Museum for a little bit after
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioned that.
So like,
How was that?
I mean, it's all right, dude. It's a lot of just like, you know, standing around, you're hearing the same songs on loop. It's like an hour loop of like the same 12 songs. And I'm like, dude, this guy's got a whole discography.
There's a whole fucking wall.
That's what I'm saying. We're in a museum full of his
records,
shit.
and you're gonna listen to the same 12 recordings, bro.
Ones, dude. And
That's so funny, man.
It would be, yeah, it was
Obviously,
almost like, it felt like a cult almost. Like I felt like one of those like
like
cult
you're being
brainwashing.
tortured.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like they're trying to like break you down. And then some of the songs will be like, I'm working, working, working. And I feel like it's like one of those like propaganda type songs to just like,
You're like, am I working in a museum or am I captured by the Viet Cong in 1971?
right? Like I don't but yeah, no, it was definitely one of the easiest jobs I've ever had. I mean, it was one of those jobs where you just like just stand there.
Yeah,
And
air conditioning.
Air conditioning, yeah, and like
Was it kind of like you can go in now, like that kind of thing? Like, or were you like working like merch or something?
I mean, it's like you'd have different shifts, I guess. You would
Okay.
be like sometimes you're on the register, and then I guess for an hour you would be on the entrance to the museum part where you have to be like, all right, give them the whole spiel about what to not do in the museum. Little dumb shit like that, bro. It was like,
I'm just imagining you
yeah, like, all right,
trying to talk as like an authority to strangers.
Oh, dude, I don't even talk authority. I'm like, yeah, so when you're ready to leave, you're gonna go straight down, make a right. You know, I would just be like, and then if you don't know, here's the guide. Look in there. Look in there if you don't know. But dude, I mean, yeah, it was so easy. I feel like compared to like other jobs I've had, man, like, cause dude, I worked at like, I've had some weird jobs. I worked at a pig farm for like a year in Magnolia. It was my stepdad. He used to work for a company that was trying to turn pig shit into carbon, because they were doing this thing where he worked at a landfill, and they would turn the trash into carbon and then sell it off to companies. I don't know how the fuck that works. I don't know why. I mean,
that's one of those things you got to go to school for,
dude. Yeah, but I didn't, and I somehow got again grandfathered into that business for a second, because it was like they were trying this new thing out with pig shit. They wanted to make the pig shit, turn it into like fucking I guess this carbon, and then like sell it. I don't know how it works, dude. Still. But anyways, that job was pretty weird, because it would just be like, you know, I mean, it just smelled like shit all the time, because you know you're in the whole trenches of like these little. It's like a pool. It's like a little like a swimming pool of like shit. But anyways, my job there was just to like drive around this little truck, and I'd have to like check the biodomes, like check all the levels, and make sure like, you know, certain levels weren't like, there was like nitrogen levels. I don't remember all the shit. It was, but
literally,
yeah, literally,
you literally
dude,
can't remember all the shit.
I was the complete opposite of the person who should have that job. Like, you know what I mean?
Yo,
like,
I do.
It's like,
yeah,
I still think about it, and I'm like, dude, I I should not have had that job. Not because I didn't do a good, I mean, I try to do a good job. Like, I mean, there's a lot of crazy shit that happened there, but it was just one of those things where it's like, I have no interest in this. I'm literally doing this because it's 14 an hour, and I get a gas card that like pays for all my gas.
yeah.
So I would just go hard on the weekends. You know, it was just like, I don't know. It was just like nice having money, but also it was just like I had no interest in actually learning about any of this shit. And I'm sure there's somebody out there who does, who's like so passionate about like, you know,
shit.
Literally.
Yeah, dude, that's hard, man. It's hard when you're doing a job and you know like this has zero long-term like relevance to what I want to be as a human being.
Oh, dude, literally. And just every day I would just come home, or I'll just drive home just like so like just exhausted, and like just because the part of the job too wasn't just like checking the levels. That was like kind of after, because at first it was more like a construction job where it was like they were building the place, so I had to like just do all this like labor stuff of like just kind of like you'd be in the little hole, the digging well, just trying to like some of it was just trying to get these. Sometimes it would just be literally trying to get one thing open for like an hour. And they'd be like, all right, that's your task for today. True that. I was like, all right. So I would just have my phone just put on like a TV show or something and just kind of like, man, I'm gonna get, like kind of try to get it. And then like if I see the truck, like the boss coming, I'm like, oh shit, okay, put it on. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, and then like, dude, this thing is crazy. I think we got to get the truck on this one, man. I think we got,
Someone get a winch.
Yeah, right. So the job, I was definitely the wrong person. As I just did not give a shit. But there were a lot of shit, but I didn't give a shit, dude.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So in comparison, yeah, the Johnny Cash gig was pretty nice,
yeah, dude. I mean,
despite the torture.
yeah, I would rather do the Johnny Cash gig than the Big Zim gig. I mean, dude, or not, sorry, the Johnny Cash gig rather than the fucking pig farm one, because like there was one time we were trying to put this ship pipe together. Like I know I keep saying
No, it's
that's what
fine,
it is,
bro.
dude. But and like my boss was like, it was like kind of clogged up, like some heavy. It was just thick, and like he's like, all right, so like put your ear to the pipe, and I'm gonna run this hose through it, like turn it on, and like just tell me if you hear flow. I was like, all right. So what I didn't know at the time is there's two different kinds of PVC piping. There's like Schedule 40, Schedule 80. And I can't remember which one is for which, but like one of them is only for water pressure, one of them is only for air pressure. Or like that's how much it can handle. So like he was running air pressure, he was about to run the air pressure one through one that could only handle water pressure. So turns it on, I'm like, I don't really hear anything. It's like, all right, let me turn it up a little bit. Turns it up, and it just explodes, dude.
Oh,
Just
dude.
shit pipe explosion. And luckily, the shit was like, it exploded the other way. So like only a part of the shit pipe like just smacked me in the leg. And it got me in the, actually it was it got me in the bad leg. It got me in the fucking, the fucked leg. But like, yeah, the shit went a lot of there. I mean, obviously there's shit droplets still is, but like, yeah, dude, I just remember we just had to like sweep it up, and then he was just like, "All right, let's go
My
to
bad,
lunch.
maybe?
Yeah, let's go to lunch." I was like, "Fuck, dude, can I go
Dude.
home?" So someone quit. I didn't quit after that. I quit like. I mean, I don't even remember why I quit. I was just kind of just like, dude, I can't do this. I'm just gonna go back to being a server, or just go back. I remember I found this job. It was working at like, um, that burrito place, Moe's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I became a manager there. Again, another job that I should not be. I shouldn't be the manager of like anything, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was the weirdest thing telling people to do anything. Like, I just did not like it. I didn't like being like, oh, sorry, I gotta write you up because you're fucking. It's just, I'm like,
You're like,
fucking weird. I don't care.
yeah.
I'm doing this because there's more money than doing the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I literally don't give two shits. And some people are like passionate about being a dick, or just passionate about like fucking, having the authority, like, to be like, oh, this is like what I live for, is to come in and tell somebody what to do while I sit down and do nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's such a, I don't know, dude.
That's a weird vibe.
It's a weird one, dude. And like my general manager, that's how he was. It was like, that was his whole thing, was just like, like super passionate about just, I don't know, just fucking.
Like he like way enjoyed being the hall monitor in elementary school.
Yeah,
he just
got a kick out of being a dick. Like, it was just literally out of just being like, like he just loved that authority of being like, oh, like, I watched, dude would call me after shifts and stuff to be like, oh, did you like, I just looked on the camera and I don't see, like, the girl looks like a little like, there looks like there's a spot. I'm like, bro, why are you, go to sleep.
It's 11.
I'm like, go to sleep, dude. Why are you looking at the cameras? He's like, hey, just wanted to make sure. Did you lock the fridge door and all this shit? I'm like, yes, dude. Yeah. Go to bed.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's like, dude, the managers that go back and look at the cameras while they're off work, I'm like, one, you got nothing else better to do. Do something else. Okay, read a book.
Play checkers.
Do anything else instead of just having, like, I just imagine just sitting there, just like, waiting for like something. It's just like
Yeah.
it's like a TV show for them, dude. To watch the fucking place that they're gonna be at tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those people are weird, man.
So you feel like just recently you're almost like finally got that flow of gigs are starting to come to you,
absolutely, dude.
and you're not as like
I don't have
stressed.
to like, yeah, because I mean, even up until recently, I mean, I was still going on like Gig Finder, like all the Facebook groups, trying to like every hour, just like hope and see what will come up, and like try to just stick something, you know. But luckily, it's like, you know, getting those extra shifts from nudies, and then with the shifts I have with the other guys playing out of town, I have one at Tin Roof. So pretty much my schedule is like Monday with y'all, I have the double on Tuesday. Wednesday I've been doing this Hilton. It's like this gig out in Franklin. It's like a solo acoustic gig where I've been subbing in for this guy for pretty much like 3 months. So I mean, it's like that's like a long time to be a sub, but I'm just like, it feels like it's mine, but it's not. So I'm just gonna. I always just
You just ride it out.
I ride it out.
Like,
I always either ask him or he asks me like, "Hey man, you good for today?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely, dude." Do that. And then Thursday again is the nudies with y'all, and then Friday, Saturday is when I'm already out of town, playing those 2 nights. Tin Roof. Sundays driving back home, and then we restart the whole thing.
Where are you going out of town?
I mean, we've been going to some random places. I mean, we went to like Detroit, went to Fayetteville, Arkansas. This past weekend, we were in Kansas City, Missouri, which is interesting place. You know, it's pretty cool. I mean, it was the Tin Roof there was pretty nice, but like, yeah, just kind of like, oh, we went to Raleigh actually too, which was cool. Yeah. So
I used to do the early shows there.
Oh yeah.
I used to play the like 6 to 9 slot.
Oh nice.
It was easy, but it was like hit or miss, because like, dude, they're usually empty as fuck at 6 p.m. on a Friday night.
I bet, yeah.
But like around the end of your set is when the people start coming in and like drinking, like ordering food.
Yeah,
and
that
kind
10
of,
to 2 slot's always nice.
And
there,
then that one, I'm sure that one's pretty nice.
Right, which like I still enjoy it. Like I like, even though it's every day, it's kind of just like, there's always ways to make it fun, you know. I feel like there's always like, I always try to like just maybe practice like techniques or something that I don't like. If it's an easy song, like, you know, like if I'm like, I'll always just see like, okay, let me see how much I can do this with just like one finger, right? Like, let me see how much I can like, you know, like really, how hard can I make this simple thing, you know? And I think that's always how you can kind of still keep it alive, because I think a lot of people sometimes get into this habit of where you're just kind of on autopilot, and you're just kind of just playing, and you're not even like, there's no more emotion in there. It's just like you're just trying to get it out. It's just like, all right, there it is, like, you know. And I feel like, I mean, there's been times when I've been at that point too, where it's like, you know, you're playing at end of a double and you're just like, all right, but like I always try to, I don't know, just remind myself, it's like, dude, like you got into this because it was fun, you know, like that was why you love music, you know. You didn't,
and it beats digging through a pile of shit.
Yeah, literally, dude. Yeah, I don't have to fucking dig in little holes and fucking wear the stupid little green jumpsuit I had to wear. You know what I mean? It's just like, dude, I could be like, I don't know. It's just, I guess it's also just, just remembering to be kind of like thankful for like holy shit, I get to play music like for a living, dude. Like, you know, it's one of those points where it's like, you know, you try, like, you think about it so much, and then when you're there, sometimes it's just like, oh man, you can feel a little burned out. But even though that's what you always kind of wanted, but you didn't, you know what I mean? It's almost this interesting kind of cycle, but it's just like, I don't know. Just kind of remembering to, still have fun with it, I think is important.
Well, speaking of like trying to have fun with it and things that really interest you, I want to talk about your original music and kind of like the evolution of that. So like,
oh yeah,
when you're writing, I mean, because like when we do this like Broadway shit, like you obviously have listened to and can play a lot of different things.
Yeah.
You know, a bunch of different genres, right?
Yeah.
You kind of have to be able to
like,
do
dude,
these kind of gigs.
Yeah.
But like, what would you say are your earliest influences for your original stuff?
Oh, dude. If we're talking about like the earliest, like my very first, like, so I mean, my first project was called Old Man Elephant.
Hmm.
That was the first thing I ever, because I really like the concept of like the gorillas and I really liked MF Doom, where it's like this anonymous kind of thing, like a character. And then you just had music under that. Um, so that's where I first started. And a lot of stuff I was listening to, like, I mean, I still was listening to like the Zeppelin Hendrix stuff, but like I also really loved like a lot of hip hop back then. Like I loved like old Kanye and like the Travis Scott and like a lot of that like kind of like Chance the Rapper. I remember Acid Rap came out and I loved that shit. But like um just pretty much a lot of like um it was so like my earliest kind of stuff had like a lot of like kind of trap and like hip hop influences in those songs, and they were very. My thing was that like it was weird because I didn't really know much about like music theory or like how to like create like a sound, so I was just kind of like my early songs kind of just sound like a mesh of just like random things I liked, or like they were just like it would be like I mean sometimes it'll start off like acoustic or something, or all of a sudden it goes to a trap thing, or and then all of a sudden it's like, it would just have these, crazy layers. I mean, they're still on SoundCloud and stuff,
Hmm.
so it's like people can find that if they want. But I remember it wasn't until later where like I started really kind of studying like music theory and really trying to study more about like how to like actually understand like music more and actually understand like what I'm making, because a lot of those songs and things I was making back then, I was just like I didn't know how to like I didn't understand like, theory, so I would just be like singing it or like humming it, and then like and that's how, then you would play it like that kind of shit. Like I would just be that's how it started for me. Um but yeah, it wasn't until later on when like yeah, I just started trying to learn more, and then
And how'd you go about doing that?
oh dude, just like I mean first it was just through like just learning songs, just learning more songs. And then it became like I wanted to understand why I liked these songs. So like, I just started trying to understand like more about like you start with the basics, like kind of start understanding like certain like common chord progressions, or just even just like, obviously that I was like before I even came to Nashville, I was like, okay, well, I gotta probably understand the number system more because that's gonna be like a big thing, which isn't that hard. It's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C, D, E, F, G. Like that's not
Hmm.
it's not crazy. Um, but like I think it was just also like, yeah, just kind of expanding my vocabulary, I think was a big thing. Just kind of like getting more into like even like the more jazz stuff too, like trying to like expand like chord and like that, like my guitar vocabulary I think was like th- something I was like working on. And I mean, I guess yeah, just how I did it was just through like yeah, just learning as much as you can. Like just learn all the things that you really you that make like you like, that you just keep listening to, and you're like, I want to know why I like that,
Yeah.
because everyone's gonna have a different journey. Like for a while, like I even got into a lot of like the fingerstyle folk stuff because I just loved the idea of like being able to do two things at once, where it's just a bass and a melody
Hmm.
like at once. It just felt like you were like a piano almost. So I
Hmm.
got really really into that a little later on, um, and so I started studying like more guys like Robert Johnson and like Booker White and like John Hurt, like really a lot of the Delta blues guys were the guys that I really liked.
Hmm.
Um, and I found this record that pretty much had it was just called How to Play Blues Guitar. It was from 1972.
Hmm.
And it was this guy, Stefan Grossman. He went around and followed all of these kind of older jazz, like not jazz, older like blues musicians, like back then, like Son House and like all these guys, and like talked to them in person, and like actually got um like learned like shit from them, put it in this book, and like you actually get like tabs, like early tabs of like how to play a lot of these songs and early tunes, and then also gives like a history and kind of like tells you like the technique, and then it's like it's pretty it was really cool. It's
That's
kind of
really cool.
mind opening, like mind blowing, dude. So that
What
really
did you say
helped
that
me.
was?
It was called How to Play Blues Guitar. It's like a record, like it looked like a little box record, and then it comes with a book too, though. So
Uh-huh.
you listen to the record with the book, and like the record just has the songs that you would be learning, but
Yeah.
like it also explains like why the song is like worth learning, like what the technique you get out of it is, like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of like ones where it's like kind of like there's like stuff like the very last one is like where it starts teaching you kind of more of like incorporating like slap techniques where you just go under the string and like like pop it, like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of those blues guys would do that too to kind of get more of that percussion
Mm-hmm.
sound. So it kind of makes you think it's like, you know, that's like kind of the first instance of like slap bass, even though it wasn't on bass, like that was already being a thing. People were popping and slapping, like, you know, doing that concept as early as like, you know, the 30s and 40s,
Mm-hmm.
50s. So, but obviously Larry Graham like did it on the bass, and that's
Yeah.
where it became like, hell yeah, dude.
Because because they couldn't keep band members.
Yeah. That's
That
funny,
was really that's a funny story that he
dude.
tells.
Yeah, right.
So you play
But
the bass with us.
yeah,
Is
man.
that where you are you playing the bass with the folks that you're going out of town with?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. So like you just mentioned Larry Graham, but like when it
Yeah.
comes to bass and bass technique, do you have bass, I don't want to say like heroes, but like people whose style and stuff
I
that you
mean,
enjoy playing more than others?
ah, dude, I mean, obviously I loved all of like John Paul Jones stuff, man. Like I just loved they were just so tasty and just so like I don't know, man. Like obviously I love the shredder, like the bass shredders too, like they're great. Like, you know, you got like Victor Wooten, you got all those guys, like you got fucking like Jocko, you know.
Mhm.
Obviously like the gods of bass, right? You got those guys. But I feel like the ones I was always more drawn to were the ones who could really take a song. They could just really make it just makes the song. They can really like kind of like like accentuate it so much to where like if it's not there, you're just like, dude, like you know what I mean? Like there it's
Basically
like
the guys who play exactly what needs to be there.
pretty much like I mean like but in a way, but it's how they put a piece of themselves with it. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like because it's like, you know, you can obviously just play what needs to be there, just doing it simple. But I think it's like the cool thing is like how do you also accent like how do you like also like make it stand out
Mhm.
while serving the purpose of the song. Like, you know, even guys like James Jamerson, right? Like I've always
Mhm.
loved all of his like bass lines because it was just like they were just so they just man, you could just feel that shit. You know, it's just like it was just for the song. It served the song so well. And I think like, you know, that's just the kind of shit I always really loved. I just loved like because I mean I wasn't a bass player first, and I feel like maybe if I was a bass player first, I would have a different mindset. I'd be like more like, dude, yeah, like Jocko, and like I would just be like going so hard on like those guys and being like, dude, the ones that like you know go hard as shit. That's what I love. But like I just feel like being a guitar player, I really enjoy the bass players that like you know could be tasty but could also serve the song.
Mhm.
You know. Um,
Well,
and not
those are the differences in like the jazz and fusion side
yeah.
of music nerddom.
Yeah.
I feel like you almost get divided into two camps, and it's the people who got so obsessed that they could do crazy, insane technical things that only a select few people achieve by basically being willing to spend countless hours pursuing music almost as just like an athletic
Yeah.
endeavor versus people who are just like into a whole bunch of different shit and settle in on a few areas. Like you've
Yeah.
talked about like well, what's funny, you mentioned John Paul Jones,
Yeah.
and Led Zeppelin had this way of obviously being like rocking, but also incorporating the blues, which was
Mhm.
obviously inspired by like the Delta blues shit
Oh,
that you also
exactly.
are into.
Yeah.
But then also, John Paul Jones is a funky fucking dude, man. Like,
Dude, one of the greatest. One of the
yeah.
greatest, I mean, arrangers too, you
Mm-hmm.
know. I feel like just like and that's why I think I enjoy his parts and because it's how he's thinking about it. You know, it's how he's you know, because we can all have the same song, but we're all going to approach it differently, you know. and I just really enjoy. I really liked his approach. It's just like with like Paul McCartney, right? I feel like I really enjoy like bass players that are also like very musical, kind of like songwriters in a way. Because John Paul Jones, I mean, even though he didn't have like songs, I mean, like, or he didn't have like, you know, like an album. I'm just saying, like, I felt like he was pretty prominent in those Zeppelin songs, at
Mm-hmm.
least like even creating like those parts and things like that. It's just like those are the players I enjoy, and I guess like it's kind of different where it's become when you start to get when you start to look into bands or groups where it's like it's more bass prominent, where it's just like the main focus is the bass, then it becomes kind of a different story. Um, but like there's still bands like that that I really enjoy, like Cassiope. Like I love like the bass player and that shit. That they're just tight as fuck. Like I love that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. I guess when I think about like what I approach when playing a song or like when I'm like writing my own stuff, I don't take the heavy like, you know, prominent bass approach. I kind of like something that just fits. It just fits
Yeah.
nicely like a little glove, you know.
And it's funny because we have taken a bass detour, but like that came up because you were talking about the like blues and folk style influence in
Yeah.
your writing that came from you getting that like record that had the booklet and stuff.
Oh, dude, yeah.
So that when you do like when you play the songwriters round and you're playing like, you know, you're playing a nylon string and it seems to be very influenced by that, but you're also doing a lot of really cool melodic and harmonic things. And I say that because the melodies are super interesting and very unique to you. That's why I don't
Oh,
know.
thanks,
I
man.
feel like I've told when I first met you, when the first time I saw you play,
Yeah.
and this is funny looking back on it after this conversation, you were playing keys with Victor and like Max on the drums.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking shit on you, bro, but like now that you tell me like, well, I was a guitar player who just happened to start playing keys, that tracks.
Yeah, because I didn't
Right.
know shit, dude.
But I guess that's what I'm trying to say is that over the last 10 years
Yeah.
of even from afar, just watching you via social media, like watching you develop into this one, like just super like solid technically and like musically minded musician,
Oh,
but
thanks, man.
also finding a way to do something that is like that really comes across as unique and not overly derivative of one genre or one artist is like super hard. And you know, you like Max I feel like has done that. You've done that, like having Brother Dusty on because
Oh,
that
dude, yeah,
cat's is
especially him.
insane.
Yeah, man.
But
Love it.
you're doing like a very comparably so a unique thing with your original stuff, and it's been really cool to see. So like when I got out here and we started playing together all the time, I feel like it's almost like the way that I talk to you about that stuff is almost like I feel like an older brother, like being like, fuck yeah, dude, like I'm proud
Yeah.
of you. Because that's just, it's hard to do. I don't think people are willing to give enough credit when someone is able to come up with something that is that unique to themselves.
I
And
appreciate it. Yeah.
and who are able to go from like you're talking about your early SoundCloud where it's like it's a trap beat, but it started off as an acoustic piece.
Yeah, I mean,
But
yeah,
now the stuff that you're writing is truly like those things are all coming together in doing its own thing. And you can hear all those influences,
yeah.
but they're contributing to this other thing. They're not separately present, you
No,
know?
yeah.
And yeah, dude, I love I love the melodies that you've come up with.
Oh, thanks,
The
man.
guitar accompaniment great, but I really love that you do those like harmonic things where you're playing the like a harmony with what you're singing and somehow keeping the like chord structure present with it.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like that and the super fucking like accurate harmonics that you hit on some of your stuff.
Oh, thanks, man.
I'm like, and it's funny because I know that when you're playing and doing those songs that like you're like locked in, but every other like guitar player that is sitting up there with us when you play the round, and I look at them and because it's funny because the first one, the first harmonic that you hit in like there's a couple of songs where there's like a
Yeah,
section where
yeah,
you're hitting a harmonic.
yeah,
The first time you're like, was that an accident? You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
then you hit it exactly like every time, and like they look at me, and I'm like, right, you know, I'm like, holy shit, like that's like it's
yeah.
on purpose, and it's so cool. And
Oh,
people
thanks,
don't,
man.
if you don't understand what I'm talking about, if you're just listening,
Yeah.
like pinch harmonics are, how do you
I mean,
describe that
like
to a
it's.
lay person?
I feel like it's like so you have a. To me, it's almost sounds like a little bell, right? It's like a little, like a bell tone, but like you get it by like lightly touching over the string. So instead of having like the note be like it goes
It's
like I
like
mean,
it's
it
like a
becomes like a
it's
bell
an
almost.
interval.
Yeah,
It's a natural interval from uh where where on the string you
yeah,
like you barely touch it like you said, but you're
right.
like, and you like, I don't know how
I
to
guess in layman's terms, it's just like you can do this thing where like if you don't fully put your finger on the string, you just put it right over the fret. You can kind of get these little different pitches or bell tones depending where you're at.
mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's to me is what I like doing it for. Like I like doing that if it's just like okay, say for example we're playing Dreams, right? Like, uh, here you go again. You say the crystal visions, boom, boom, boom,
Yeah,
and then I'll
yeah,
hit the harmonic
yeah.
there
Mm-hmm.
because like it has like that crystal because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that things. So it's like that's I guess the easiest way to kind of describe it if it's not if we're
Well,
not getting super.
what I'm getting at is that it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Especially
don't, yeah,
depending on if it's not like if it's not one of the like crazy supernatural harmonics on like the 5th, 7th, or 12th fret,
yeah,
or even if it is, depending on the fingering of the chord of what you're already doing,
yeah,
getting to it and hitting it every time. And this is what I'm talking about, man, because it's like that's technically hard, but you chose to do that because it serves the song. Like it's not technically hard just for the fuck of being technically hard.
yeah.
It was like, it'd be really cool if this harmonic was here.
Oh yeah,
Holy
dude.
shit, this is kind of hard, but I'm just going to practice it until I can do it.
Oh, I mean,
That to
yeah,
me is like, that's what you should be going for. Like
yeah,
being able, like when people do things where it's like, how long can I sustain playing 16th notes at 140 beats per minute or 250, whatever it is?
yeah,
That doesn't impress me. The technical shit that impresses me is when it was like, that's a tricky thing to nail every time.
yeah,
It serves the song, and you were thoughtful enough to arrange it that way and put the time in so that the thing you wanted to execute in service of your song, you do it well and you do it every time.
yeah.
And that's the kind of shit that you do with your
Oh,
stuff
thanks,
that is
man.
like, I just get a kick out of it. Because
Oh,
I'm very much like, I really love like funk. Like the first record I put out was more like funk R&B.
yeah, yeah,
But I also really like just the three cowboy chords just strumming along and coming up with like cool lyrics.
yeah. Right,
So when
right.
I see someone who does like technically difficult stuff, your lyrics are great,
Oh,
your
thanks, man.
songs tell great stories, and like, but you're also doing technically hard stuff. It's like the perfect combo, dude.
Oh, thanks,
I
bro.
sincerely enjoy every time I like catch one of your shows.
Hell yeah,
And the
thanks, man.
electric shows, you did a show at Acme.
Yeah, right.
And you know, you're playing with like some also excellent musicians like Marcus.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Marcus and Barbie. Yeah, Pierce
dude,
Barber.
Yeah, Pierce Barber, Barbie, like all those guys. I know it's funny you were talking about like not wanting to be a manager, but I feel like as a band leader for your own project,
Oh yeah, you have to.
you're doing a great job with that, because y'all's set is Very well thought out. And you've got the hip hop influences using the
Yeah, I use the 404. I
yeah,
still
dude, like
try to.
talk about that. Talk
Oh
about
yeah,
that
man.
cuz
Because
that's fucking awesome.
thanks, man. No, I just wanted to sort of keep that alive because I still love it. Like I still love hip hop and stuff, but like with the 404, like so I've always used. I mean, I still kind of do like make beats. Like I've just loved the art of sampling. Like I've always loved Dilla. Like actually, I remember. Actually, yeah, me and Max, we would make beats together. I remember showing him like the Dilla stuff. We were just sitting in because we used to live together
Mhm.
at the house. Like we lived in this house called 2112 because that was the address number. But anyways, I was like, dude, you gotta check this shit out. Like I remember we just sat. I put my phone on the bookcase. I was like, we just listened to all of Donuts.
Mhm.
And I was kind of telling him the story of like Dilla, like, dude, like, like he had like lupus, like fucking died like 3 days after this came out. This is like, I was telling him kind of some of the stories with the songs and like,
And that's
and
really
that,
cool because
that,
Max talked about that on the pod, and that like really super influenced Max's kind of solo career
dude,
trajectory is you turning him on to Dilla.
dude, it's crazy. Cause I mean, you don't think about moments that'll like really impact somebody, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to like, dude, like I'm not like trying to take credit. Like, dude, I
Yes,
made
you are,
you.
dude. That's
I
exactly what you're
made
doing.
you, dude. Don't forget, I made you.
I
But
love
no,
that.
it was just crazy because I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's just like you're showing somebody a band. You don't think like that band's gonna really take a toll on them, like, or in the sense where it like really influences their music so much, you know? It's like we've shown each other so many bands, but I mean, like that was the one I remember. Like, wow, it was kind of a pivotal moment. I just think it's really cool to like kind of, I don't know, remember that, like just kind of be like, damn, like I was like, it's cool that like got to like see that, you know?
Mhm.
Because I just remember like, yeah, we would live together and I would just be making my songs in the room, and then I remember he was working on his stuff, the album Citrus.
Mhm.
And I listened to Citrus and dude, I love that shit's so awesome. And like, man, it was just really cool, man, just getting to see like his entire like journey too, man, or like see it kind of from no, I mean, because he had been doing stuff before, but like really I guess seeing it like after he went like with App State and all that. But I don't know. Anyways, sorry, we're talking about the 404 stuff. So the
Yeah.
404 stuff, I mean, dude, I guess that kind of in turn does have like that kind of does have something to do with it because like it came through like with Dilla because Dilla had the 303. I love the 303, but
Can you explain to people who are listening and
oh yeah,
don't know what that is?
so it's pretty much like a sample pad, like a sampler. So it has like 16 little buttons, and you can take any sample or anything that you put through it. Like you can take records, vinyls, um, run it through this little machine, the 303 or the 404, and you can sort of chop the records by just through the buttons, like hitting the buttons like dun 2 3 4, and then kind of rearrange it to where you want it. What made Dilla's records like so special is how he made every sample like in a way tell a story because each one would be like you have like Don't Cry, right? Like that one was for his mom because the dude's like dying on his deathbed, and it's like you got, and it's just like you got things where it's like Light Works, where that one's kind of trying to like the feeling of him being in the hospital and shit. Like the dude like made, what was crazy was how he made turned sample like beat making something that didn't really have like a story usually behind it unless you're just rapping over it. He made the beats themselves have stories, which I thought that was so fucking cool. I was like, dude, I love that shit. So that's what really got me into sampling more because I really like the idea of just being able to tell like a story through like rearranged pieces, almost like a collage,
Mhm.
almost like an
It's a
audio
sonic
collage,
collage, yeah.
right? And it's like what you do with that collage, right? You can make a collage that just has like random things that look cool, and I feel like that's like your basic kind of beat, like a lo-fi beat. And then you can have a collage where it's like another painting. It's like
Mhm.
another meaning. And I felt like to me that was like Dilla's music, right? Like that was like he was creating like these stories with the collages, and I just love that. So, anyways, that's what made me want to get more into sampling and get the 404. And I just really like the idea of just like um incorporating like samples or incorporating things in my songs. Like I remember like even with the last Old Man Elephant album, like I would take like samples or things like with the album because I like to mix like kind of acoustic or like live instruments, but have like little pieces of samples. I mean, that's for even some of the newer stuff I'm working on. I'm trying to do that again too. But doing it live, what I really like the 404 for, that's a weird sentence, 40404. What I really like the 404 for what it is that like you could I could load in certain samples or certain things, and I could also run my vocals through it.
Mm-hmm.
So then like I could change different effects and different like weird sounds and do stuff with it like that. But what I liked doing was using the 404s almost as like using it like an instrument, you know, like as another set thing for the show. And what I'm gonna start doing now for my the next shows that I do, because like I kind of took a break from doing shows to just put out the songs that I've been playing, because I've been playing these same songs like for all the shows that I've been doing, but most of them aren't even out. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, so I went to the studio, recorded them. I got buddy of mine, Jack Steiner, who's gonna like master most of them, and then we're just gonna start putting them out. We already put out the first one, which was Earth Control, which was the little, just a kind of a big heavy instrumental.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I just want to got some other ones coming out throughout this month and next month. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is like with the shows now, I want to still incorporate the 404, but I also got a projector. So what I want to do is start creating like a visual show with the live show, right? Because like I've always loved, what I think is the coolest thing is when like you almost get like, yeah, it's almost like it's kind of like theater in a way, but it's not, but it's like, you know, you get like an entire visual like show like a movie or something, or that happening behind you, but with music in front of it that relates,
Oh,
you know.
100%, dude.
Yeah, I mean
And
that's
they
a
were doing
classic
that shit
thing.
back in the 60s
Yeah, it's like
all
a
the
classic
time.
thing. They do like the tie-dye shows, or like, you know, like liquid light show type
But you
shit.
do a lot of stuff with like vintage animation,
Yeah.
right? Where are you just getting like archive stuff that's like kind
Yeah,
of
all like public domain stuff.
yeah.
That's pretty much where like, I mean, I just go on Internet Archives. Um
But you're doing that
like
same thing. You're doing that same thing that you were mentioning like with what Dilla did, but adding metaphorical visual elements to your music.
yeah,
That
that's
is also using samples that fit the motif or the vibe of the song as well. So you're kind of
exactly.
combining like all of it. So how long have you been into like been interested in the filmmaking aspect of it?
Oh man, like
Because
I feel
all of your
like
social media is like, I feel like it's almost been stuff basically just to have like a visualizer. I know that that's not how you're thinking about it, but that it has become a thing. It's just like,
yeah,
doesn't have to be a music video as long as it's some kind of visual thing with maybe the lyrics, right?
yeah.
But for you, yours have always been super like curated and thoughtful and related to the theme of the song, right?
Yeah.
Is that something that like you is this idea of doing it live, is that something that's like always been in the back of your mind?
I mean, yeah, man. It's just like even the same concept of just not like, I just don't like the concept of just doing like a visualizer or just doing something that's just like a thing to like, I understand that's also part of the game, like having to do things like that. But I've always like the artists I've always liked as a kid and like still do is like the ones that just like you have like full music videos, you have full stories, like the songs relate to like other songs. Like I remember like I really love something. I remember like when Childish Gambino did like 3005, like that album, right? The music videos were all like related to like other parts of the music video, or like the whole told like the album all like connected and told a story. And I've always loved like artists that's my favorite kind of artist. Like, you know, even I mentioned earlier, like Gorillaz, like those kind of like bands where you take like concepts, you know. Um
What's funny
and-
to me is hearing you say all this is like, and maybe I haven't listened to enough of your earlier stuff. I just mean like as of like now, what I have taken as far as like the hip hop elements
yeah.
are your use of the 404. But like it's always been, at least from the for the last basically almost year now that I've been going and seeing your shows.
Yeah.
Your use of the 404 has always seemed like you're using it more as a live instrument. Yeah, yes, it's samples,
Yeah.
but you are using it as a live instrument and as a way of like you were doing it like a really cool thing at the Acme show that I feel like you had begun to do when I saw you at Twisted Tea, is like you would use like little vamps that it was Marcus or Marcus and Barbie or whatever playing along to a sample that you trigger with a 404
Yeah.
as like an interlude for you to get your guitar like tuned to another thing or
Oh,
whatever.
bro, yeah.
But I was like, and this is another thing I'm fucking like so proud of you, dude, is like how thoughtful you are. I'm sorry to say proud of you as if you're like a kid. I'm not.
Oh, thanks,
I
man.
don't
Yeah.
I don't mean it that way. I mean it as like respect for your craft.
Yeah.
Is like watching you go from like using it as like an interlude to like planning them out. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh, dude. I had to, man.
the live show evolved and smoothed out in a way
Yeah.
over the last 8
Oh,
months.
bro, that literally came from every show we did. I made like meticulous notes. I had to
Mm-hmm.
make like, because it's like you start adding in more elements and then you start not realizing certain things. Like when I was first doing these shows kind of earlier on, like I had so many spots where I was tuning. My guitar's a little fucked up too. There's a lot of problems. That's why I got this new one, the hamster caster, dude. I got to bring that to you next time, dude.
Okay.
That shit's sick,
I,
dude.
I saw the picture. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, that shit's gonna be sick. But no, it's just like, dude, I think it was just I just got so frustrated. I was like, dude, I kept hearing certain spots or certain things that I could smooth out. So every time it would happen, or like I would just make a mental note, and then after the show, I'd write everything down. And then in those spots where I was like, okay, I have to plan out everything in a way where it's like, okay, this section is like I'm gonna be on the second capo for like 3 songs, and these 3 songs are gonna be here. But I also want it to still flow and feel like a natural kind of thing. Um, which is what I was doing at first. But then you run into the problem. So it's like my first thing is like I wanted it all to kind of tell a story where like I'd want certain things to be together. But then I had to kind of compensate. I had to be like, okay, like if I want a smoother show, I have to put certain songs next to each other or certain songs in certain spots because like that way I don't have to keep shifting or keep changing so much. Um, and I think that's just always a big thing. You just kind of start simplifying. You just kind of start seeing where you can cut out like that dead time. And I think it was also my thing is I just hated banter. Not that I hate it, I'm just not good at it, dude. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
not good at talking to people like, all right, so this next one, even with the writers rounds, dude. I still need to get better at like just being
You've
like
gotten better at
explaining
that
a
though.
little bit, slightly. It's just like, I don't know. I just want to just play the songs, and I know it's important to explain and tell them where it's coming from and stuff, but sometimes I feel like I don't know, is my explanation like sometimes I just want people to kind of interpret it how they interpret
Mm-hmm.
it. And I think like I don't want to just tell you
Yeah, dude.
and like that's why I just with the shows like even when I get back with the live shows and even the ones you saw late like the last one later on, like that's where I got to the point where I was like I'm cutting out all the talking time, cutting out everything where there's going to be something like a dead time or tuning time and just have it be a fluid kind of show. Like it's just a full, like a movie, you know? Like in a movie, there's no like a stop where you got to go use the bathroom, you know? I mean, they have those in like those 3 hour, like Indian films. I don't know if you've ever seen those, which
Oh,
is
a
pretty
Bollywood
crazy.
film?
Yeah, the
Fuck
Bollywood
yeah,
films, they'll be
dude.
like 3, 4 hours long and they'll be like hour two. It's like, all right, interlude, go to
Yeah.
the bathroom.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like, but I don't want to do that in a show. Like that's why like I even try to, I don't know, I want to incorporate more kind of fun things too, like more like kind of set like my first step is like adding the projector. That's one. And then I don't want to add too many steps at once. So like my second step after that is adding more things to the actual set. Like maybe things where it's like a little phone, like a fake phone, like pretend you're getting a call or I don't know, like something like stage kind of things. Like I like stuff like that. Um I don't know, I've just always loved the visual aspect of like with music too. And I feel like it's sometimes here like it can get neglected. And like I just want to put on a show where it's like if somebody random walked in, they would be like, "Holy shit, what the fuck is that?"
Mm-hmm.
Like I might not even like this, but I just want to know what the hell is going on. Like, that's why
Yeah.
that's the stuff that I've always been kind of drawn to. You
That's
know.
what is uh the thing is like what you're doing when you have a live show, it's like even if someone came in who doesn't like that genre, there's so many surprises and like you said, little like what the fuck is happening right
Yeah.
now that I feel like you draw in people
Yeah.
who otherwise might not be as like intrigued,
Yeah.
you know?
Which can be a good and a bad thing. I remember I got some feedback where it was like, yeah, I don't know, during I think maybe doing less of the 404 stuff because like, a lot of people weren't like vibing with it. I was like, I don't know, dude, like I like it. I think it's cool. So, I mean, I might have done
When did
maybe
that happen?
this was at the Acme show. I was probably like 40% with 40 with the 404, which I could probably slim it down a little bit. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to cut it out completely because I think it's cool. I love that shit. And it's like a part of like, you know, something I want to like show. And I feel like what I try to do with the songs too is like even the samples, I'm trying to make sure the samples relate to like what's happening next. So that way it's like it's not just like a random sample for no reason, you
Mhm.
know. So even if it's like not somebody's cup of tea, even if for some reason like, oh, I don't like hip hop beats, it's like, well, I mean, I don't care. I'm
Yeah,
sorry you're not open, like,
but that's not even that's you're doing something different with it. It's not just like a hip hop beat for the fuck of it,
No, yeah.
you know? Um yeah,
I
that's a
think it,
weird.
yeah, I mean, I get it because it's like they were kind of saying just like, oh yeah, a lot of people were kind of leaving like whenever that segment was kind of happening, and I was like, yeah, it's what it is. It's Acme's also a restaurant, people sometimes don't want to. You're gonna come in, you're gonna come out. There were people that stayed at the very end though, really cool. So it's
Yeah, I
like,
think Bree's brother was in town and
yeah, I remember y'all had to dip
I
out, yeah,
would have stayed, but he
dude,
was
yeah,
like
no
tired.
worries, yeah, but
I
like,
no, I'm saying that cuz like Bree and I were like, God damn it, John. Like we're like really enjoying this. You
yeah,
what?
which I mean, I'm not even like,
Yeah.
it's what it is, but like, I'm glad y'all even just came out just for that little bit. That was sick. But yeah, man, I don't know. I feel like it's just sometimes people get too influenced by like listening to what other people like. Obviously, like it's good to take feedback and take critique on like playing, but I feel like when you have a vision of something, you don't want to you don't want to take too much like feedback because everyone's got a different vision of what they think you are, you know?
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, if it's like when it comes to playing and like technique wise, like in like guitar playing, I'll take feedback all the time. Or like in something where it's like, that area where it's like you're trying to get better at this thing, like, yeah, I'll take feedback. But I think when it comes to like, it's like your vision. Obviously, if you share like with like minded people, it's good to get like feedback and advice on certain things when you need it. But like sometimes it's like you just got to know when to filter out like what's necessary feedback and then what's just like almost an opinion sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I feel like that can be hard for some people because then sometimes some people start changing their image so much that they lose what the original thing that they were trying to do was. And I
Mhm.
think that's just what I don't want to get to, you know what I'm saying?
I think you know what you're trying to do.
Oh yeah, man.
And so like, with the 404 stuff, I think when the first time I saw you use it live,
Yeah.
there was a couple of times and it was just like, because you were just having like technical problems where I was like, it seems like this transition is going on longer than you intended for it
Yeah,
to.
that was for one of them, yeah.
Um, but the at each show's progression, it seemed more intentional
Yeah.
and like you had more control, right?
Yeah.
So if someone just doesn't have the fucking attention span to sit there and see what you're doing,
That's
that's
on
on
them,
them.
man. Yeah.
But I mean, but like that's where I think you are thoughtful about that stuff. Where you're like, that might have gone on too long, and it
Yeah.
was because it took me like a long time to like adjust some shit.
Dude,
You know?
yeah. Which honestly, that's why I'm glad I got this new guitar because my other guitar, it just kind of what I didn't realize. It just like I'm sad because I like made it really cool. Like I made it like I call it like the space caster. Where I took like this little pieces from a book. It was like a kind of astronaut moon thing, and I kind of collaged it on the headstock with like Mod Podge. Loved it, made it look really cool. But the problem was at the neck, like the nut. Apparently, it was cut like a little crooked, like not the nut itself, but like right under where where it sits.
Mm-hmm.
So there was the guy was telling me, it was like, yeah, there's pretty much no way it would like ever be like properly intonated because it's pretty much crooked. Like it can't, you know what I'm saying? Like you're never gonna
Like the slot where the
like the
nut
slot. Yeah,
sits
the
is
slot
like not perfectly
was not
level.
aligned. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which I mean, I got this neck. I mean, I put the guitar together. It's like a parts caster thing. So
Mm-hmm.
it was like, you know, I kind of get what you get sometimes. You know, it was one of those like you get it on like, you know, that website Guitar Fetish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's like one of those where it's kind of has like they're in a warehouse type shit, bunch of fucking, you know, it's like, yeah, you never know. Like, sometimes you get a piece of shit, but I didn't know that. That's why I kept having so many tuning problems on stage because I would have to keep tuning constantly back all the time. And I was like, bro, why? And that's why I'd have to make so many sections. But with this new guitar, I just got a Mexi Strat 2012. Um, did my little collage thing with it, and I got like a injector in the neck, like a Paul Gilbert, like the Seymour Duncan injector neck, or like a Seymour Duncan. Is it Seymour Duncan Demar's? Anyway, one of those. I got like a got a True Velvet in the middle, Seymour Duncan, and then I got like a fucking hot rail like in the
Yeah.
bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So that thing's gonna be pimped the fuck
Oh yeah.
out, and yeah, I'm just excited to fucking play that shit. And then I'll start probably booking some more shows and stuff. I want to put out these songs again, but
So what is your
shit.
next really? So you said, what are your? Do you have like a schedule for how often you're going to be doing releases over the next?
I mean, like, I still gotta get this one track back from Jack, and that'll be the next one we put out. And then I've got two or three more that I guess I'll be putting out in like September, and then one in like October.
Okay.
So like probably around then, and then I think I'm gonna start like hitting up places now to see if I can book something in like November,
Mm-hmm.
or even like for next year, get something rolling. Just because then I'll have the songs out, do some more promotion with it. Luckily, I actually finally like have like income to promote again because I feel like it's a big thing here, dude. It's like, yeah, you can post. I mean, I get it. It's good to post consistently and post like that, but I don't know. I found a lot of groups too just through like Instagram ads or just through like random sponsored things. So it's like I feel like it's good to also put thought into that, you know, which sucks because that thought is also money. You got to put
Yeah.
into that. But
So I want to continue talking about like the future like shows with like the projector and stuff.
yeah.
Do you think you're going to incorporate like the visuals that you are using for each song into that, or are you going to like try to come up with like a whole like vibe that has that plus other elements?
Well, I think I would use like the visuals, like for the ones that already have like visuals for the songs, I would use those visuals. But like, I also want to like, for the ones that don't already have like a visual thing, I would just get something that kind of matches or feels right with it, you know, kind of blends with it. Um, I've thought about also just making like, because I was already working on one visual, but I might like work on like having like two different visuals, like maybe have one that's almost like a movie almost of like different sketches or different things that are like, you know, um intertwined together. I thought that'd be kind of cool. Or even just something where it's just like, yeah, like just a trippy, like, I don't know. I still, I should just finish the first two before I start trying to make other ones. But like,
Hmm.
but yeah, I just wanted to kind of like, yeah, just kind of emphasize the songs more. That's pretty much it. Just want to give like a visual thing to the songs because I think that's always really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you use the like public domain stuff like are like where are you accessing that? Is it just like YouTube and shit like that?
oh no, it's Internet Archive, like
Mm-hmm.
dot. I think it's .org or something. You just type in Internet Archive, it comes up, and then you can find everything that's pretty much in the public domain.
Mm-hmm.
And you can search like there's just things I'm just interested in. Like I got interested in like the Max Fletcher cartoons. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
where I was using the Coco the Clown one for the last music video. And I was wondering, I was like, oh, I wonder if this is public domain. And I was like, looked it up. I was like, yeah. So it's like it was made in like 1928 or something, and like yeah, the copyright's already done. So obviously, I mean, like I still like give credit, and I'm always like, hey, this, you know, this is from this piece, this is that. You know, I'm never gonna be like, oh, I made this, because
Oh no, no,
that's
yeah,
not,
I know.
yeah.
I
But
love found footage shit, dude.
yeah.
When I was in film school, like I took a class that was called avant-garde cinema, and it was just like experimental shit.
Yeah.
And I always really liked stuff by a filmmaker named Bruce Conner. And he was like based in the Bay Area during his career, but he did these really interesting like found footage films that would be like it had like obviously it had like a political bent to it, but it was just the way that he edited like news footage or like, you know, all of this shit. And it was in the 60s, so you know, things were kind of not that things aren't heavy now, but you know, all that shit. But I feel like you'd really dig that stuff, man.
Yeah,
I'll see if I can. I want to try to find the syllabus for that class and just like give that to you so that you have like a list of things, because I feel like you would just enjoy it.
Dude, I'll go to town on that.
Yeah,
man. That'll be sick.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, man, that's pretty much my process. It's just like, I mean, at least right now, I want to do like a film, like an actual like video. I've been working on some like kind of claymation kind of shit that I want to like mix in elements of that with like an actual video, because I really like this guy. His name is Jack Stauber. I don't know. He's like he does a lot of the kind of fucked up claymation kind of stuff where it's like with his music too, and I just love that shit. So like, I want to do that as my
That's
next.
painstakingly
I know
slow, bro.
I know, but I'm not gonna do it for the whole music video, but just like have elements where it's like,
yeah, you used to be working on that shit for 10 years.
Yeah, it takes a minute, but like if I make it more live than claymation, it takes less time. So that's where I'm gonna kind of incorporate just elements of that. But like that's another endeavor. But damn, I feel like I have to get kind of going pretty soon, man.
Yeah. Oh
up.
shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
How long we been going for?
Like an hour and 37 minutes.
Nice.
That went by faster than I thought it would, dude.
Dude, it's great talking with you, bro. Like,
all right.
Absolutely. I'm gonna bring the hamster caster next time.
Please fucking bring the hamster caster, bro. Will you tell the folks where to follow you?
Oh yeah, so follow me at Jacob.Emran. Got music on Spotify, YouTube under Jacob badiei-emran. We just put out the last song was Earth Control, came out a couple weeks ago. Music video's out too. Check that out. Yeah, I got more music coming up too, so I don't even know if I'm looking at the camera, but
yeah, you are. That's right. This one
works out. Yeah, works out. But yeah, if you like psychedelic, folky, weird shit, then
yeah, you really aren't good at the banter thing.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm telling you, dude.
Nah, dude, but for real,
I'm
like
great at it. Dude.
You gotta. For real, I'm gonna leave links to.
Bro.
I'm gonna leave links to all of that stuff in like the video description, and if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, it'll be in the show description in the show notes. And yeah, we gotta play in like three hours.
Yeah, man. I gotta do a little.
You gonna go jam
before this? Yeah, do some. Oh shit, we're still live. Eh?
Yeah, it's okay. All right, bro. Look, I appreciate you, man.
Hell yeah.